I call the May 8th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting to order and ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you for that. First order of business is the swearing in of our new Planning Commissioner, John Swaney.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, John Swaney,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota,
and of the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully discharge the duties
and faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Planning Commissioner
of the Office of Planning Commissioner
of the City of Lakeville
of the City of Lakeville
in the County of Dakota and State of Minnesota
in the County of Dakota and the state of Minnesota
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Welcome to the commission.
Thank you.
If we could ask Secretary Erickson to please take a roll.
Tinsley?
Here.
Traffus?
Here.
Kaluza?
Here.
Hank? Swaney? Swenson?
Here. Sorry.
Next item is approval of the minutes. We had the minutes in the packet for March 20th and Planning Commission meeting and the April 17th Planning Commission work session minutes. Does anyone have any changes to those? If not, we will let them stand. Very good. I'll now turn to Planning Manager Jensen if we have any announcements for tonight.
No handouts for this evening, and the only announcement is that if tonight's items are not tabled, they should move forward to the May 19th City Council meeting.
Excellent, thank you so much. Our next item on the agenda is South Metro Safe and Vault Interim Use Permit. This is a public hearing to consider the application of South Metro Safe and Vault for interim use permit and IUP to allow the outdoor sale and display of a safe as an accessory use in the C3 General Commercial District. First up, is he on Teams? Mr. Borchert? Mr. Borchert, if you're there, please introduce yourself for the record and then go ahead. Maybe we're having technical difficulties. We could certainly possibly have Ms. Bodern present first. I'm going to suggest that we have Ms. Bodern present first. Thank you.
All right. Well, good evening, Chair, Commission members.
Hey, Joel, come here quick, would you?
Ah,
My computer's muted, I can't get it off. Thanks.
Mr. Borchert, is that you?
Yes, are you there?
Yes, we are now. We'd be happy to hear from you about your request for an IUP for South Metro Safe and Vault.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. I'm good. Okay.
And
Yes,
if you could speak up,
yeah,
it's
so
pretty hard to hear you.
Oh, okay. Let me turn up the volume here. Okay. Yes, I've started South Metro Safe and Vault in Lakeville on the lower level of Pleasant Hills in 2022. And you just want to know about the yellow safe out there, or do you want a little history on our company?
I think what we're looking for is what your request is regarding for the IUP.
Oh, okay. My request is that we have a large yellow safe on a trailer. It's an item that is for sale. It's a very large safe, and I was informed months ago by the city that I needed to get a $1,500 permit to have that out for customers to see. And I paid the $1,500, and then I was notified of this meeting.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. I guess we'll move on to Ms. Botten to present the staff report.
All right, good evening, Chair, Commission members. So this request is for property located at 16350 Kenrick Loop. It is located east of I-35 and on the corner of Kenrick Avenue and Kenrick Loop. The property is zoned C3, which is our general commercial district, as are the properties surrounding this parcel. So as mentioned, the applicant is asking for an interim use permit to allow the outside sales and display of a safe. So outside sales are allowed in the C3 district, but not to exceed 30% of the gross floor area of the leased space, and it's subject to approval of the interim use permit. So an interim use permit allows flexibility of a use on the property for a temporary amount of time. So this is unlike the conditional use permits that you may be a little bit more familiar with, where a conditional use permit runs with the land. The interim use permit will terminate on the happening of any of the following events, whichever may occur first. So it may, at the date or event that's stated in the permit, violations of any of the conditions in the permit, or changes in the city's zoning regulations, which renders the use non-conforming. So the South Metro Safe and Vault, their business specializes in the sale of fire and gun safes. So the proposed outside sale of this area for the safe is located in the southwest corner of the parcel, and it takes up one parking space. So there's no actual physical changes to the parking lot or the building. The site would still comply with the minimum parking requirements, and the proposed outdoor display area does not exceed 30% of that leased area. So staff believes that the interim use permit conforms with the performance standards in the zoning ordinance and is consistent with the goals and policies of the city's comprehensive plan. So staff is recommending approval of the request with the 4 stipulations that are listed in your report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I doubt that there's anybody here, but maybe if you'd like to speak at this public hearing for this particular item. Doesn't appear that, and there's nobody on the phone in addition to Mr. Orchard.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Kaluza.
seeing no one in the audience, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
The public hearing is now closed and open for planning commissioners to ask questions. Are there any questions? Commissioner Ike?
First, question for staff. How does this differentiate from signage?
Signage is more of just similar to like the boot that you maybe have seen on site, where it's just kind of advertising the business, but you're not actually purchasing it. The safe that's out there, you can actually purchase that physical safe if you wanted. So it's more of a display and sale of a product.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Traffus.
my question, upon visiting the site, the safe is there. I assume that there's not going to be any change following an approval of what's there now. The safe stays there, it stays on the trailer, it looks just like it looks now.
Well, it wouldn't be able to be moved off the hard surface. If they would move it to a different parking space on this property, I guess I wouldn't see any issue with that, as long as it doesn't take up more than one parking space. But it wouldn't be able to go onto the grass or in the corner off the hard surface.
Thank you.
And it could actually, it's not tied to like the specific yellow safe either. I should make that clear. If they would happen to sell that safe and they put out a new safe, they can do that as well.
Any other questions? Looks like we're ready for a motion.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Swanson.
I move to recommend to City Council approval of the South Metro Safe and Vault interim use permit for outdoor sales and display of a safe or vault in the C3 district, subject to the 4 stipulations listed in the May 8th, 2025 planning report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'd like to ask Secretary Erickson to take the roll.
Traffus,
Aye. Aye.
Zimmer, Ink,
Aye.
Swaney,
Aye.
Swenson,
Aye.
Tinsley.
Aye.
Mr. Borchard, if you didn't hear, are you still there? We thank you for
Yes,
your
I'm
business.
here, yep.
Okay, good. We thank you for your business here in Lakeville, and your IUP has been approved, and wish you best of luck in your sales.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys have a good evening.
Thank you, you as well. The next item on the agenda is the Heritage Commons 9th edition. This will be a public hearing to consider the application of the Architects Partnership LTD for a preliminary plat of 2 commercial lots to be known as Heritage Commons 9th edition and the vacation of public drainage and utility easements. Here to speak on behalf of the project is Matt Lingham. I'd like to have you come forward, identify yourself, and tell us a little bit about your project.
Hi, I'm not actually Matt Lingham. I'm Connor McCoy. I'm filling in for him. Good evening. Thank you for having me here today. We appreciate your time and consideration of our application. I'm here on behalf of TAP and Chase, and we'll be happy to answer any additional questions after any presentation that they have for the Chase Bank. But essentially, we're planning to split the lot into 2 separate parcels. One will have the Chase Bank with a 24/7 ATM and drive-through lane and bypass lane. And then east of that is undetermined right now.
Hey, what?
The east parcel is undetermined right now.
Okay, undetermined. And I did not catch your name to write it down.
Connor McCoy.
Connor McCoy.
McCoy. MCCOY. Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
We'll ask Planning Manager Jensen to come forward with the presentation.
Good evening, Commissioners. Before you this evening is a preliminary plat and easement vacation for Heritage Commons 9th edition. As Connor said, it is a 2-lot subdivision of a parcel for a Chase Bank and a future user to be determined. The property is north of 202nd Street, just down the street here from City Hall, and between Idyllic and Iberia Avenues in the Heritage Commons development. It is zoned to PUD because it is part of that Heritage Commons PUD, but it does have the C3 district, which is our general commercial district, as its underlying zoning. This is the preliminary plat. It is currently, the parcel is currently an outlot from the Tires Plus development to the east. So they are proposing to split this into 2 parcels. Each parcel is in excess of the minimum lot size required for that C3 district. And then this is the proposed site plan for Chase Bank. The structure itself is about 3,400 square feet. It is oriented to Idyllic Avenue. It does have a drive-through ATM on the south side, including a bypass lane to allow other vehicles past that. There is parking on the site, and it will have a stub for the east parcel, and you will have access from Idyllic and from Heritage Drive. And then there will be stormwater ponding on the site, as the pretty pond here. This is the landscape plan. There are overstory trees around the site. There are additional plantings on the south side here with the drive-through area to help block those headlights. The landscape plan has been reviewed and approved by the city forester. This is just kind of a ghost or a concept layout for that vacant parcel to show how, potentially it could be developed. Again, we do not have an identified user for that, but they will have a connection at this point. And then with the Tires Plus side, a connection both on the north and on the south side give them flexibility in how that site were to lay out. The building is a one-story building. As you can see, it uses nearly 98% grade A materials. They have 3 colors of brick, cast stone, and glass materials. The design element that you see right here, it's kind of a stripe across the building here. That is consistent with all of the other Heritage Commons buildings in that development. If you go look and see, you will see that design element. So we asked them to incorporate that to help carry that through, and they were happy to add that to that building. Also, the trash enclosure will be made up of the same materials as the building, consistent with that. That is all I have for you. Staff does recommend approval of the Heritage Commons 9th edition preliminary plat and easement vacation, subject to the 11 stipulations that were included in your planning report.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jensen. I'll make the announcement again if there's anyone that wishes to speak. Okay. It's time to, ready for a motion?
Madam Chair, seeing still no one in the audience, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Forgot to ask that. Public hearing is now closed. Does anyone have any questions for our presenter or staff? Commissioner Jensen. Swanson.
Madam Chair, might have the representative come back up real quickly. I was just curious, as I was looking at the site, I noticed, I see the building, I see a stormwater pond, and then there's kind of some grayed out rectangular piece kind of in the northwest corner of the parcel. Could you maybe help me out in understanding what might be in that location on the parcel?
Yeah, that's
That's the one you're looking at, Commissioner?
Cool, that one. Oh, there you go.
That's currently underground stormwater storage for the improvements for Heritage Drive. So that everything collected off there gets put there right now, and that's where we tie in our above ground stormwater too.
Gotcha. So that kind of helps explain, as I'm looking at the site, I was kind of wondering why nothing was happening in that portion of the site or why that wasn't part of the development here. So that makes sense. I appreciate you clarifying that. Thank you.
Yep.
Have any other questions? Thank you so much.
Thanks.
If there are no other questions, I think we're ready for a motion.
Make a motion to recommend to City Council approval of the Heritage Commons 9th edition preliminary plat and easement vacation, subject to the 11 stipulations listed in the April 25th, 2025 planning report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Secretary Erickson, will you take the roll?
Kaluza,
Aye.
Zimmer,
Aye.
Ink,
Aye.
Swaney,
Aye.
Tinsley,
Aye.
Aye.
There you have it. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. McCool. Appreciate your time. On the agenda is election of officers for Planning Commission per our memo that we received, and we would be open for nominations.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Kaluza.
I nominate a slate of Christine Zimmer for chair and Scott Eink for vice chair.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We're going to call for nominations. Are there any nominations? Are there any nominations? Are there any nominations? All right, after 3 calls, nominations are now closed, and we'll take a voice vote on the slate. All those in favor of the slate, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? We have it. Congratulations, all around. Next item is planning manager's memo. If there's anything other than Since our items weren't tabled, they'll be moved forward to May 19th, City Council.
That is correct.
Excellent. Motion to adjourn, or just adjourn? We're adjourned.